Oh. How's it going, guys? Welcome to this episode, which is completely different to the normal vlog format. If you're new here, I'm Andy. If you're coming back, welcome back. This video is just going to be a how-to and how I do my vlogs, or how I record my vlogs. And for the handful of people who have asked, and I feel a little bit silly saying this because I used to take the mick out of people who said this on their vlogs or videos. People keep asking me how to create the chest mount, or people keep asking me for something. So people are asking me how to do this. But also I'm going to show how I create my vlogs, how I record my vlogs. From when I started vlogging back in February 2023, I have been recording my rides since I started riding, mainly in the focus to potentially create some content, and now I'm over a year into it. So let me show you how I create my vlogs, the kit I use, the kit I've been using since I started, which you can kind of see the growth of it. Fortunately, if anyone's missed a video of who I am, what I do, I am a professional fashion and portrait photographer. And videographer and director, based out of London. So all my vlogs obviously be in London and getting out to different places as much as I can. So I have the pleasure of having a very good camera, a very good video camera, multiple different cameras that I have access to, but mainly everything's usually filmed on this or this. Then if you want to skip ahead to this and how I do that, go ahead. I'll put some chapters in the bottom. So the first way I recorded my videos was on my iPhone. I started with an iPhone with a quad lock on the back, which was also my Strava navigation because I didn't have a Garmin at that point. So there was a lot of putting on, twisting off, trying to record, not being very comfortable on a bike, so not being able to record one-handed. And that was probably the first time I ever fell off the bike with being clipped in. I do still use it now for shots while I am riding. I do use it as basically a second camera while I'm on my rides. With the cinematic mode and stuff that you get off the iPhones, they are very good just for clip footage, like these ones. It's also a good option with the GoPro being completely wide angle and not really wanting to carry like a DSLR on my back. It having different lenses, or even the simple ones having like a normal, just not wide lens that you get off the GoPro, is really helpful, and it just adds a little bit of different footage, like when you're out and about, and you can whip it out and take a couple of nice scenic shots of where you're riding through. It's been really nice to have that dynamism. No, it's been nice to have the option to switch from wide angle to having just a fixed lens, pretty much. Piece of kit that I was using to create my videos was the mount. I saw a lot of vloggers who were using these things and didn't want to pay for the proper one, which was about £40. So I got one off eBay, which I would not recommend unless you've got a really small mouth, because these things do not change. The one thing that is really good about these is your head is a natural gimbal. So when you're on the road, you're not just joggling around. So if you have an older GoPro, it does still work pretty well. But for me, I felt a bit like an eyesore. I felt very conscious, self-conscious while I was doing it. And I was already self-conscious being someone who is a little bit bigger. When I first started cycling, I was in tight lycra. I didn't really want any more eyes on me. So this helped for a while, but I was always trying to find a different option. The other option that I had was the GoPro selfie stick, which had benefits of the fact that you could lie it down or use it as a tripod, but after probably one or two uses, it just starts to slip down. It's also not very comfortable to hold and then to whack out of your pocket, but it is quite good for shots of the bike, shots of you on the bike with a bit more distance. But hand holding this, there's no grip on it, it's just slidey plastic. It's not been used for that really, but One thing I have used it with is in combination with the other part of my, to be shown in a minute, chest mount, which I can fix something onto here and I can keep this in my pocket with the additional magnet and leave it up there and go do something and know that it's going to be upright if I want to get one of those shots. It's just nice to have that option. The next part of something that I've been using, or I used at the start, was the mod mount, was the mic mod mount for the GoPro, which in all fairness, like, it does help with the shotgun mic, it does help with audio, but at the same time it rips through your battery. Absolutely rips through your battery. And it doesn't really do much different to the wonderful windbreaker, which I've been using religiously the whole time unless I had this on to try it again. But this rips through your battery. Yes, it looks nicer, but I have dropped my GoPro a fair few times, and just having the cheaper like windbreaker buff, not even a dead cat, but like it's basically like a little bumper, and it's very well used, so it's falling apart, so it's not very expensive to replace, which is really good. But it is really good for the audio. It has helped my audio a lot, not having any wind, which is what I had in the start of my vlogs before realising this is probably something that I should use. I was using this sometime, but I only had one battery, which really didn't do me any justice. Made it quite difficult to just do a full ride. At that point I didn't have a chest mount. I have used it with my chest mount, and it does rip through your battery. And the audio, yeah, it is okay, but it also isn't water resistant. So as soon as you have this on, your battery housing is free to the elements, so you have that potential to destroy your entire GoPro circuit board. So if you live in England, wasn't the best idea. Ways that or the two other cameras that I have that I use to record the parts of me where I'm like going around the flat, or I'm making a coffee, or I'm doing this right now, like at the moment, at this specific moment in time, I'm using the R5 with a Sigma Art 35mm lens and a Rode shotgun mic on top. I have access to that being a photographer, but it also has 4K footage and it uses the same batteries. But other than that, I have the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K, not the Pro, just the normal 6K, which is really good because you can plug it in. So I have used that more when I started putting a lot more effort into my videos. I was using that at the start until I changed onto the R5 just to have my eye tracking, so I can be in focus the whole time while I'm moving around in this kind of scenario. Yeah, so having access to those two cameras is really good for like B-roll, but when I first started, I was just using my iPhone again. iPhone was pretty much a staple, and it's to last this long in bit. Even though I did have this camera and I did have the Blackmagic, this was, even though I did have this camera and I did have the Blackmagic, the iPhone was there and was there from the start of everything. When I first started, I used to have my Apple Watch on, so I could leave my camera on something when I got back to the flat, or when I was out and about, and I can hit record and I can get a selfie recording. But now everything's done on either the R5 or the Blackmagic Cinema camera for all footage of me out and about. But now all the footage is on the R5 or the Blackmagic if I'm indoors. I don't record anything else. Here is a clip of me using the GoPro to record me creating something. As you can see, R5 was very much there, and R5 was very much the better camera to use, and it's so good to have to be able to do all these lovely little shots. And now for the part that, again, has been asked for quite a lot by multiple people, which again, I hate saying that because I've always hated when people say that on vlogs, but actually it turns out you do get asked these questions a lot. This is the chest mount, and this is how I made the chest mount. So the things you will need for this is gaffer tape. I'm using photo gaffer tape, but you can use any gaffer or duct tape. You'll need the magnet mod, which comes in if they don't want to attach to each other again. 3 separate pieces. The piece you'll need to start off with is this piece here, so I'm going to ignore these for a minute. And a chest mount. It can be GoPro, it can be knockoff. As I said before, I'm using a knockoff one that came for like probably a £5. There we go. So, step 1, get the chest mount. Step 2, magnet mod. If you're using this one specifically, north facing up, and just place it in there. Next step, duct tape. I have no nails, so this is an absolute nightmare for me to do. So step 2, lay the magnet mod down and tape. Try and get it as central as humanly possible. You can go with the magnets because they do still work. If you're using the same back mod as me, I usually rip it here and tuck it underneath. And you go over it multiple times, so you have multiple layers, and that is literally it. There is your magnet chest mount. It's very simple. It's literally just a magnet mount from Amazon, which actually comes with a nylon neck, like tassel, I don't know how you call it, like a lanyard. Which I didn't feel very comfortable riding with, but also had a very high position. It wasn't like in a nice position. Literally, I can't really describe it in any other way other than it wasn't comfortable. I also had to have it so it didn't wiggle around as much. I used to have it done up quite high, so my jersey would finish here, the knot of it would be here, and then the mount would sit there, but it would move around, so you'd never be able to like find it again. And then I just went and got a cheap GoPro chest mount, knockoff chest mount, which the only good thing about it is it notches you a little bit to the side so that when your GoPro sits on it, the GoPro essentially just sits straight in the middle. This has been great to have, to be able to whip it off, whip it back on, and also it comes as a set of 3, so you have one, which again, like I said before, you can use on Selfie, so you can put on the selfie stick, you can leave it to record, and then you can take it back off in the same shot and put it on your chest mount. Simple as that. So this is the very DIY'd, held together with gaffer tape chest mount that everyone's been asking for. I did say when I got to 1,000 subscribers and I show everyone, I didn't think that many people were that interested in it. I'll have a link in my description from the specific magnet that I do use, and then you can go back to the how-to. I mean, it's simple as you saw, it's just duct tape. I did actually say in a comment, it is literally just duct tape and a magnet, and I did not lie, it is duct tape and a magnet. But it is a really nice way of getting your chest mount footage without having this obscenely ugly chest mount over your potentially super expensive jersey, and your camera be moderately safe. I will say that I am not responsible if it does come off. I'm only a road cyclist. I don't go BMXing, I don't go off-road, I don't go gravel riding. So if it comes off on a jump, do so at your own risk. But yeah, sweet. Well, thank you so much everyone for watching. I hope most people watched it the whole way through, but if you didn't, that's fine. I'm obviously going back to regular vlogging as of next week. That's been really insightful. I hope that I've done it in a way that is aesthetically pleasing mainly, but also that's like informative and has helped. And I really do hope that some people are gonna make this chest mount and make full use of it. And I just really hope that you can all create some cool footage. If you do ever want to tag me in some of the footage that you make with it, I'll definitely look at it and I'll be gassed to see what people create. I know. Thank you for watching. Thank you for everyone watching all these vlogs recently, because it's been fantastic to see actual nice numbers, and it's given me the drive to actually do more. So yeah, have a wonderful day. Peace and love, and I'll see you in the next one.